Frank, Hayes, and JJ.
Hit it!
It's time for the Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
And we welcome you in. It is Hump Day of a big week.
Big week.
I'm excited. 4 more sleeps.
I am too.
4 more sleeps. I gotta count on my fingers every day. 4 more sleeps.
Yeah. It's getting close.
All right.
Getting close.
Jags in the playoffs against the Buffalo Bills. We're certainly excited about that. In fact, we're going to hear from Foye Oluokun today on the program. Is he fired up?
He is fired up, and he should be. 146 tackles in the regular season for Foye, and he's the leader and communicator for the league's top-ranked run defense. So lots to be happy about if you're Foye Oluokun. But as you've seen, it's a consistent theme. It's very much like, yeah, it's great, but we've got bigger accomplishments ahead, and I think he's right. So yeah, I think obviously happy with what they've done, but focused on what is still ahead.
Yeah, so I think we're all excited about kind of where this team is and what's going on, and these are good times, no question about it. Frangie Carline, JJ LaSelva with you. Ooh, 1 day away. 1 day away. Does he look nervous to you? Can you tell? He's a cool customer, though, isn't
yeah,
he?
he doesn't.
He doesn't show it, does
We're
he?
playing with house money now.
Yeah, it's never house money when the title's 2 games away, bro. Nice try. It's never house money this close. It's been a good season either way for sure. It ain't house money.
Oh, it's been a great
nice
season,
try, by the way, on the house money thing. He's trying to see
beating Florida State, Ohio State, Notre Dame.
It's a great year.
Whoa.
It's a great year.
I just
You're too close. You can taste it.
You
can smell it. Hey, hang on. You can smell it, can't you?
I can't. I haven't smelled it since I was 11 years old, so it's gone away.
Well, the Canes. How about the Canes just marching
Look,
down?
It absolutely could be Miami winning the whole thing. In terms of, I will be legitimately surprised if Ole Miss beats Miami. I'm not, and again, if Ole Miss was at full strength, if they didn't have what I now believe, I think there was some positive to the rallying cry of the Lane Kiffin crisis. But at some point, I think the rallying cry gets overtaken by the instability. And I just would be surprised if Ole Miss can function at a high level offensively with all the coaching turnover.
Yeah,
I just think at
stuff.
some point, I think it catches up. So, we'll see. Obviously, they've got talent, but I will be surprised if Miami doesn't play for the title. Now, will they beat Oregon or Indiana? I'm not sure. I'm willing to go that far yet, but wouldn't you be surprised?
The best part is it's at home.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
If they get
We're doing our picks tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I don't know who I'm picking in that game.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
But to your point,
I will be surprised if Ole Miss wins the game.
If you ask me to bet my money, I'll pick the side and who I think is going to win the game. I would pick Miami. I will, but I would not be surprised in any of it. I hear you, but I'm to the point now that neither of the college games would surprise me now.
Same.
And I just think that's where they are. It's just a weird.
Yeah, Oregon, Indiana is clearly that's a coin flip game. But I think Ole Miss Miami would be a coin flip game if Ole Miss didn't have 80% of its coaching talent on offense working in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and it's naive to suggest that's, to your point. It's naive to suggest that's not a factor in some capacity. Yes, so we'll see. But I can't. It's going to be. I'll tell you this. I don't particularly care who wins. I can't wait till tomorrow night. And I can only imagine. We have 5 nights of it starting tomorrow night. We have 5 nights, college game, and then 3 nights of NFL. 8 o'clock at night. Don't call me, okay? Don't call me. Don't call me, Hayes, and ask how I am.
Okay.
And ask if I've
You'll
seen,
be fine.
Don't call and ask if I've seen any good movies, okay?
Yeah. By the way, how was that Neil Diamond thing? Did you see that?
I did see it.
Was it good?
I thought it was. I'm glad you asked. I thought it was very good.
Is that the one where Hayes was like, "That looks terrible"?
Like the worst movie I've ever seen.
It was.
You're like, "Hey, I'm going to the movies this weekend."
And I like Hugh Jackman and I like Kate Hudson.
By the way,
I just thought the concept to me just didn't look like it was all that promising.
It's Song Blue. We saw it on Christmas Day, and we talk about it because I was on vacation. Actually, you would like it.
Okay.
Because it's a good movie.
Okay.
The reason you didn't think you'd like it because it looks like a silly setup just so they can sing a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
That's what the trailer tells you it is.
Right.
And I get it. That's what you saw in the trailer.
But it's a good movie.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's heavy.
Okay.
It's a true story, and their life was heavy.
Oh, okay.
So, it was heavy.
I'm not like getting into $1 Million
No,
Baby.
what's
here,
funny?
am
It's
I?
funny. It's funny.
Oh
It's
my
funny
God.
Because
funny.
that is the
ending,
worst
wow.
Yeah, it's the worst movie
of
ever
all
made.
time.
Yeah, and it's funny you said that. No, it's not to that level.
Okay,
It's
good.
nowhere near that level. But I walked out of there thinking I think 2 couples went, 4 of us went, and we walked out of there remembering $1 Million Baby.
Oh, wow,
Okay, so
okay.
does that tee it up
Yeah,
for you a
it
little
does,
bit?
yeah.
So it's
A
heavy.
cheery film. A cheery ending.
Again, I've told the story many
Worst
times.
movie that's ever been made.
Yeah, I told you the story. $1 Million Baby was so terrible. It was such a bad. I mean, it was worse than 7. It was worse than all of them. Okay, it was so bad that I'm not making this up. My wife and I walked out of there so depressed. We turned back around and walked in and watched Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell. True story.
That's a great one to bring you back.
We went
That
right
is
back.
hilarious.
We literally walked out. We walked out. She was bummed out. I was bummed out. I said, "Let's go back in," and we went right back into the theater.
Right.
30 minutes later, let's watch Kicking
Because
and
for
Screaming.
2.5 hours, you're watching
Yeah, it was
what you
awful.
believe is going to be this fantastic
And it was
boxing
terrible.
movie.
It was terrible.
And then the last
Yeah.
15 minutes, it's like, did the devil himself write this?
Clint
in?
Eastwood should
like-
never been
yeah.
allowed
It's
to do
like,
another movie.
Wait,
ever.
he's gonna do that in the
Right.
hospital?
Right. It was terrible.
God.
It was just terrible. It was worse than all of them. I could live with the head in 7 better than
Oh,
better
yeah.
than this.
What's
That
in
was
the
better.
box?
That was better than this.
That
wasn't-
was the Naked Gun
Yeah.
compared to the ending of $1 Million Baby.
It
I mean,
was.
at least at 7, you kind of it was
Yeah.
at least you
You
kind of
knew
knew
what you were getting into.
You
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
that it might end
Yeah.
in dark fashion.
The worst thing I thought would happen is she loses the fight. That's
Yes.
not the worst.
Right,
Correct.
exactly.
So anyway, so there you go. So if we ruin it for you, too bad. You've had 80 years to
We've
watch
done you a favor.
Yeah, we have done you a favor. All right, lots of things to get to today on the program. We'll start with Jags and Bills. I'm going to get into the series. The series is, do you realize it's 10-10, the series?
I did not know
The
that.
series that they've played 20 times.
Really?
It's a really interesting series. They've only played twice in the postseason. Jags won them both. You probably did know that.
Yes.
Yeah, and so,
The Koyak touchdown is the one that springs to
Yeah,
mind.
yeah,
in
and
the
the
96.
Jim Kelly
and then
game.
the Jim Kelly year.
Yeah. So but anyway, we'll talk a little bit about the series and the teams and the franchises and the markets. It's very interesting. It's an interesting conversation. We'll come up. We'll do that in just a bit. We'll also hear from Foye Lewican. As always, you caught up with him. Sports and Courts is today. Brett Hastings stops by in just a bit. I want to get into collective bargaining in the world of college athletics because we got to do something. We have to, and it's perfect timing because are you following this?
the Washington story.
The Damon Williams story. Have you guys followed that?
That is.
It reminds me of
brutal.
last year with Wisconsin and Miami.
It's very similar.
over
it's
a
very
cornerback,
similar.
but I think this one's even.
I think
Right.
this one's considered even more
Well,
egregious.
and for people that don't know, Damon Williams is a quarterback for Washington. Plays for Jed Fish and the Washington folks, and he signed that he was going to stay. Signed a contract to stay. And then after signing a contract to stay at Washington, he left, and Washington said, "No way. We're gonna exhaust every legal opportunity we can to keep him." I mean, which is really interesting. And we're going to exhaust every legal opportunity, every legal possibility to not let him leave.
Well, at some point, a contract has to mean
That's
something.
correct. At some
If
point,
it's one
right.
thing if he just entered the portal and he signs with LSU. Okay, fine. You don't like it.
Yeah.
But to sign a contract saying I'm returning in 2026 for $4 million, you can't then get a call from LSU saying, "Well, we'll pay you $6 million," and walk out the door with
That's
no
right.
ramifications.
That's right. So we're certainly going to talk about that. Brett will be here in just a second. I want to get to Gator basketball. Got a lot of the Gators. When you called it, you said 14 points. They won by 15. So I thought it'd be closer. Maybe Georgia losing, the big guy hurt a little.
By
bit.
the way, our guy was on TV last night.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
we saw
that was
it.
awesome.
We saw it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. Yeah, we did. First appearance. Is that your first trip with the Rowdies? Yes, sir. Okay,
That was great.
Official. We got a Rowdy in the room. So
You
there's
were
that.
holding a Condon head, right? Or
Thomas Howell.
Howell
Thomas
head.
a Howell
That's
kid.
right,
So
yeah.
there you go.
Brett
Sorry.
Hastings' son is.
Yeah,
what
that's,
we're
so we have all kind of fun stuff to talk about. Glad you're with us on the program. We're going to talk about Jags and Bills, comparing the markets, comparing the teams, comparing what the game means. We'll certainly come up with that a little bit later on in the program. We'll talk Gator basketball. We'll talk about the portal, which continues to go crazy. But after the break, it's Sports and Courts. Will there be collective bargaining in college athletics? Does there need to be? Are these contracts going to be enforceable? A lot going on as the portal world is crazier than ever. That's how we'll kick off the program on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get in the huddle
with 1010XL's QB.
All right, guys, let's make a play for 1010XL.
David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
Looking for a dealership that treats you like family? Come to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they are North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with their lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, where tradition meets trust. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 7, 2003, Kobe Bryant makes a then NBA record 12 three-pointers, including 9 straight, in an LA Lakers victory over the Seattle Supersonics.
Looking to elevate your game night experience? Look no further than Best Bet. We're not just a card room, we're your destination for excitement, fun, and big wins. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the game, we have something for everyone. Join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine for thrilling tournaments, exciting promotions, and a vibrant atmosphere that will take your game night to the next level. Elevate your game night at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hi, folks. It's Frank Frangie. Did you know that individuals over age 60 have great results on Awaken 180? See how you could drop weight and get off your medications in just 3 months with Awaken 180's Golden Program. Visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Next time you head into a Gate convenience store, look for Form Energy Drink, designed to provide energy, hydration, and focus, straight from Dana White and AB, celebrating those who embrace grit, discipline, and resilience in their everyday lives. Check out Form Energy at a Gate convenience store.
Yo, it's your main man E.T. here for Blue Chew. And guess what? Blue Chew tablet isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code. Blue Chews provide access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at your best. Stronger, longer. It's like someone gave you downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. No awkward doctor visits and no uncomfortable waiting rooms. It's nothing worse when them nosy behind neighbors are looking at your packages and then asking you questions. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. I got this. Blue Chew is simple. It's discreet and delivered straight to your door. And let's be honest, this isn't just for you. Give her group chat something to talk about. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. And guess what? I got a special deal for our listeners. Get your first month of Blue Chew on me. That's right. Just use promo code 1010XL and you pay $5 shipping. That's it. Head over to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Use code 1010XL, then just chew it and do it.
When persistent plumbing problems leave you feeling flushed, don't panic. Call Roland Reich. They quote all pricing in advance, so your only surprise is how quickly they'll solve your issue. Roland Reich Plumbing, plumbingjacksonville.com.
New year, new lifetime dreams. Let's build them together. Jeff Breyer here with the Lifetime family of companies, your local backyard
and indoor
home improvement specialists.
That's right, Dad. Lifetime enclosures, lifetime flooring, and lifetime windows.
Glass and screen enclosures, outdoor kitchens, pergolas, replacement windows, all to enhance your home's livability and value.
And a huge flooring showroom with thousands of the latest tile, LVP, hardwood, and carpet selections to help you fall in love with your home again.
Come experience the Lifetime difference. Call or visit one of our showrooms today for our limited lifetime offers.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pet Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPetServices.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Now time for Sports in Courts, legal issues in the sports world with Brett Hastings from the Hastings Injury Law Firm. Hit back with Hastings.
Brett Hastings here, the second biggest celebrity in his family.
That's right. Happy to be that
Your
way.
son Hunter, tell the story. Hunter's here, by the way. But tell the story.
Yeah, just starting at the University of Florida's College of Journalism, was down there with the counselors, walked across the street. He had his first night as the Rowdy Reptile, got the Tommy Hawk big giant head, got right down at midcourt. Dad came home stressed from work, was able to turn on the game and saw his son holding the big
One of
Tommy
the
Hawk
Rowdies.
head up. Yeah, we want the main Rowdy, and the best thing is the kid's 6'6".
Yeah.
So if you give him a giant Thomas Hawk head, you're going to see him on TV. And that's what my mom goes, he's got Tommy Hawk's head and he's 6'6". We're going to see him.
Do you have to sign up to be a Rowdy, or you just
gotta get in line.
You get in line, okay. He's getting in line. And
Yep.
you're a Rowdy. Okay.
First
I didn't
come,
know
first
that. How
served,
about
you
that?
know?
There
So-
you go. All right, very good stuff. All right, well, very good. How you doing? Good to see
Doing
you.
great. I'm living the dream.
Got your Jaguar shirt on. You're ready, aren't you?
I am.
You're all jagged out today.
Yeah, this is the most emotionally invested I've been in the
Yeah.
Jaguars. That my emotional investment is much greater than the Gators.
This is a real special time because it looks very real.
Right.
It looks what the Jags are doing is real. It's not fluky. It's not. This is very real. Who knows what's going to happen when you play a 60-minute football game? But it's very real.
I told somebody the other day, I agree with you. It feels very real, and it's so much better than I could ever dream in my best scenario for this year. So you just got to enjoy it when sports lines up like that.
And I think, and hopefully, this is going to be who the Jags are for a while. That's the
Right.
other thing. We'll worry about that, I guess, after it ends this year. But anyway, for the here and now. All right, I want to get into this. You and I have talked about it before. What are we going to do? It's crazy. You can't. The portal. It's the biggest thing that concerns college football administrators and college sports administrators. If there's collective bargaining, I always hear that'll be a step toward making it better because it'll make it more like pro sports. But I'm not smart enough to know what that means.
Right.
So explain it to me.
Well, collective bargaining is really what takes place for employees, and that's the thing we'll talk about in a minute, when they're able to have unions, right? And essentially negotiate master contracts, right? When you get in the NFL, there's really not a lot for an agent to do other than to set essentially the price, right? The total amount that you're going to be paid, because everything else is decided, right? And so by getting those things slotted and getting those things figured out and having a commissioner and then having, equal bargaining power, right, by way of the players through their representatives, you're able to work out all of the issues, okay? The NFL, we already know the schedule, right? We will know who plays who, then there'll be a date that the draw, all those things come out. The coaching cycle started yesterday, but it was after the season. Those things are matched up and they're timed up. And I heard each of you talking, and, as far as sports and courts go, looks like it's about to happen out in Washington is really, really interesting, right? And the reason why is everybody, all the listeners are saying, hey, you signed a contract, you got to make good by the contract. But what is this contract?
Right.
And this is what we've been saying all along. It's for name, image, and likeness. Well, no, we know they were paying him to stay another year to play.
Pay for play.
Right. And so they have created, artfully and very unartfully, right, in a lot of respects, really these legal facades, right? They're legal facades that, this is for name, image, and likeness. This isn't. This is payment to play. And what we need to have happen is we need to define the players as employees, and it's only a matter of time. And then once they do that, then I think everything's set for there to be collective bargaining so that there can really be, some order, right? Like we just need order in college athletics. Why is it even that difficult to get the portal window time and those things matched up, right? As it's happening now. And so, those are the types of things that I think we need to see happen. Until the courts define them as an employee, and this case may be one of the first times to say,
And that's
right?
the key is there can't be collective bargaining unless there's employees who organize. Right. I mean, that's the part where we've kind of missed.
The other thing, too, that I keep coming back to is from the player standpoint, I get why the schools would want a CBA now. But if you're the players, I mean, what's the motivation to go do it unless they're going to increase the rev share from like 22 million to like 50 million?
Correct.
So like I
So
don't
the
know
players
that they'll actually get to a negotiating point because I don't know that it would need to benefit the players. The players have the greatest system ever right now. I mean, they can move at their leisure.
Well,
so to create a system that reins them in, I would think you'd have to give them more money. Correct?
Yeah, I think that's true. I also think it'll be interesting to see what happens here coming up because, they're supposed to get these NIL deals approved, and signed off on,
With the clearinghouse. The clearinghouse, right.
With the clearinghouse. The clearinghouse is they were really trying to attempt, but just don't have the strength, and the order that you would get from collective bargaining to put in place a salary cap. And a salary cap is what we want to see in some regards, right? We want it to be somewhat fair, like why are the Jaguars so good? They made a great coaching hire. I think they got a great GM. They're moving those pieces around, and the NFL, I think, is the best sports organization to watch because really it always remains competitive. All the games are so good, and you go do it, But if Texas Tech can just get around these things and just decide to be renegades and not care about the clearinghouse and could still show up and play and have $50 million, it's not going to work. And that's really, going to destroy the game. I think they've got to share some other money. But even right now, I mean, how do you feel if you're a first-round draft pick in the NFL and the guy who came in after you is making more money now, or whatever? So it's going to calm down at some point, but I think they're going to have to direct some more money to him, and the money that they've directed to him is very arbitrary.
So apart from becoming employees who organize, which is what would allow you to have collective bargaining, the other part is, until we get to that point, how enforceable will be these contracts. So I can tell you that I've been told by somebody clearly in the know that Ryan Williams, the really good receiver at Alabama who was good last year, not so active this year, is talking about leaving, going, is it Oklahoma maybe? He's going somewhere. And that Alabama believes they've got a 2-year NIL deal with him that is enforceable. And the same thing that's going on, if you haven't followed this Washington story, this DeMond Williams wants to go to the portal. The University of Washington believes they've got a contract that he can't leave, and that he signed a contract that said he can't leave. And I know you don't know the answer because we don't see the contracts. We don't even know what they are.
Right.
But what's your best guess on how, in these two instances, how this will play out? What do you think?
Well, so you could go the initial route, right? And you guess you would, all right, we're going to file the lawsuit and then try to put an injunction in place that tells him he has to be there or nowhere else.
Good question.
And then how does that work?
So,
right?
is that the first step Washington takes is to file an injunction so he can't leave until it's settled?
Yeah. I mean, if the intent is to try to get the young man there to play for you, but I think that the intent might be more to just try to go get some judicial determinations as to the validity of the contract and some of those other things. Because how does that work? Hey guys, I was leaving. I was going to LSU. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Assuming he goes to LSU. I don't think we know that right now or what have you.
But wherever.
But what are you going to do? You're going to order him back in, and then is he automatically get the starting spot as opposed to the other guy that's been there to working? I mean, it's just, pro sports are already tough enough. It's one of the things that's so remarkable about the Jaguars. These guys seem to really know and like each other. They love Trevor. Trevor's making a whole lot more money than any of the other guys. But these instances and sort of just the renegade nature of it, what is the real legal remedy? How do you get them back there? Now, what I can tell you is that was a Big Ten rev share contract. I haven't had a chance to review it yet. I definitely want to get a hold of one of these, and I think we'll do that on Sports and Courts because it'll be interesting.
Yes.
But there are definitely some provisions that probably exist in that from a damages standpoint, liquidated damages, in the event that these things don't happen, remedies, you need to come to, mediation. I don't know if there could be an arbitration provision in them. Those are a bunch of things we'd want to see, but I think this could be a test case. And I think what's happening right now is this is not just a Washington decision. This is the decision that everybody in the Big Ten is talking about and doing. And this contract that this young man signed, based on the media reports that I had read, was a revenue sharing contract that the Big Ten requires of everybody, and they have approved. So there's a little bit more sophistication there than just some of the renegade stuff that I've heard go on with like these NIL collectives. And if they're choosing to push this forward, I've got to assume that's also going to be after they consult with and have the blessing of the Big Ten.
Could Washington basically sue LSU and say, look, we expect you to pay the $4 million buyout for Williams, so you can pay Williams whatever you like beyond that. If you want to pay him $6 million and you want to invest $10 million in this, fine. But could they sue LSU for the money that they were going to pay Williams?
Well, what I think they could sue them for is intentional interference with an existing contractual relationship. You know, we live in a world now where the boys will show me, and Hayes Fawcett does an edit, and it's done deal signed on the NIL. Right. So everybody knows it. And here it appears that once they found out, oh, he signed this deal, somebody reached out and said, we'll pay you more, and they have knowledge of the deal. Okay, so the hardest thing to prove sometimes in these things is, do they have knowledge of it? And here you got to wonder, is this intentional? You know, are you intentionally interfering with this contractual relationship? And yes, you could get sued for that. And yes, you could get damages. Now, as to what the amounts are or how that's going to be, it'd really be dictated by the language and what is the overall cost that it costs them. And, you know, that's a little speculative, but how it figures out. But as we're seeing right now, these dominoes drop, right? And one kid goes here and it changes where the next kid's going to go, and, you know, all of those things. And so by doing that, I think this is something that everybody else in college football is probably somewhat offended by, even though they know there's a renegade nature to the NIL right now. And I can see this being a legal test case. I'll be really interested to see. This might be the type of thing you can't necessarily just work out, and they may want to get some direction from the courts, you know. And, you know, if you have the first employee and they decide to leave you and they have a covenant not to compete, one of the biggest decisions that an employer or anybody else says is, do we go after this? Because what if we lose? Everybody else here that's worried about that covenant not to compete might feel like the floodgates are open, and on the flip side. But I can't fathom the courts, and if the conference had really put some thought into that contract, that wouldn't help to create some stability and help to keep young men there. I just think at the end of the day, we're going to define them as employees, and a bunch of the sort of, you know, just bizarreness really of sort of the legal positions will go away. And then when you guys go in here and ask me questions, I can tell you very clearly, no, you know, that's an employment contract that you can easily, you know,
like you can with the NFL. I know you're right about that. Well, two things. Number one, since you brought up social media, I want to know if I can sue all the guys that said there's an MOU that guaranteed me Lane Kiffin was coming to Florida, because I saw that every time I looked at social media. He signed an MOU and he's coming to Florida. I want to sue those people. But a serious question.
I'm depressed. I was depressed after it.
A serious question. In your legal opinion, do you think when this all shakes out that DeMond Williams will be playing somewhere other than Washington? Or is it your opinion, just based on the little bit we know now, they'll find a way to keep him there? Well, in September, who's he suiting up for?
I just don't know how you put him back in that locker room.
Legally, though.
League. I think there's going to be a lawsuit over this, and I don't think he's going to go there.
So you don't think he's going to go to LSU or wherever?
I think he's going to end up somewhere else. I just wonder where it is.
Okay, so because my guess is he won't be at Washington.
I don't know. From a football standpoint, I don't know how you can let him
that's a different question.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking from a legal standpoint. Would Washington, because Washington insists they've got a leg to stand on here.
Right.
I mean, everything you read, Washington said, no, not this time. College, we've done this enough. We've erred on the side of these kids enough. No, not this time. We've counted on him being our quarterback. We didn't go get anybody else in the portal. We didn't recruit anybody else in the portal. We didn't sign anybody because he signed a contract to stay here, and now he's going to screw us after this. Hell no, we're going to find a way to legally keep him here. So I'm curious if they'll be able to pull that off. I guess that's my question.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he'll end up being the quarterback for them, and I think there's going to be a lawsuit. Yeah. And, you know, without having an opportunity to read that, you know, the rev share contract that he signed, but I can almost guarantee you that there's going to be a venue selection clause in that contract that the conference wanted. And, you know, it's, you know, there are some good NIL lawyers out there. I don't know who was repping him as it related to it, but I will guarantee you this is of such a significant financial interest that everybody that's listening would be shocked at the amount of money, time, and really just energy they had put into trying to have standardized contracts with these athletes in the big conferences.
We'll continue to track these kind of stories because they're fascinating in college football. Nobody does a better job than Brett does. Brett Hastings from the Hastings Injury Law Firm. That is Sports Court. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
You got it.
We come back. We'll talk some Jaguars football. We'll hear from Foye Oluokun. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Hey, folks, it's Frank Frangie for Lee and Kate's Glass. And I think you deserve a spa-like shower, don't you? Get rid of that dirty, dated setup you have in your bathroom. Those old-style showers can be really ugly. Install a gorgeous frameless shower with thick, sexy glass and a free diamond coating protection that's easier to clean, like Rain-X for your shower. Your bathroom will feel like a luxury spa every morning and night. You deserve it. Visit my friends at leeandkatesglass.com.
You're gonna see a big difference.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
It's January in Jacksonville, so you turn on the shower knob expecting hot water. It comes up cold. That's a tough loss to start the day, but Duck Duck Rooter is here to turn things around with the new year, new water heater promotion. Duck Duck Rooter makes replacing that old water heater a winning play. Right now, get a new water heater installed for just $14.99 on select models with standard installation. Call now to schedule your free estimate and take the cold shower off the scoreboard. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Join the movement at the Foundation 5000 Saturday, January 17th at UF Health in St. Augustine. The Community 5K supports the UF Health St. John's Foundation Care Connect mobile outreach and clinic, delivering vital medical care to those who need it most. Run or walk with 96 Olympian Keith Brantley, or come enjoy the Asian market, open to runners and non-runners alike. Sign up today at runsignup.com. Search Foundation 5000.
Professional painters know the right finish starts with the right paint. That's why they trust First Coast Paint. Featuring Benjamin Moore paints and expert customer service, First Coast Paint keeps the pros stocked and rolling. No gimmicks, no big box confusion, just top quality Benjamin Moore paint, advice, and the best service in Jacksonville, period. Because real pros don't cut corners, they color them. First Coast Paint, with locations in St. John's and St. Augustine. Simply superior paint.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the chairman of Underwoods. With Christmas behind us in 2026 here, the last thing you want to hear is somebody trying to sell you something. That's why at Underwoods, we'd like to stop and just say thank you to all the people that came in our stores over the last year. Whether you bought from us or not, we want to thank you for coming in and giving us the chance to help. You see, in North Florida, there are a lot of people trying to sell you jewelry, but at Underwoods, we consider it an honor for somebody to come in and just give us that chance to help. And if we do a good job, we might get a chance to serve again. Having served North Florida since 1928, all of us here understand what a customer really gives us during that visit to Underwoods, their trust. And it's up to us to do everything we can to keep it. So on behalf of everybody on the Underwood team, thanks again for coming into our stores, and we wish each of you a Happy New Year.
If you need a holiday gift idea, let Kuhn Flowers handle it for you. This is Frank Frangie with 1010XL. Simply go online to kuhnflowers.com and look at the wide variety of floral and plant arrangements that will make someone's day this holiday season.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Back to a Coyle & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it, too.
We thank our friends from the folks at Coyle & Sons. Man, they've been out there at our Bregan baseball complex. They do a fantastic job. They're redoing all our fencing out there. It's going to be better than ever. Whether you have commercial fencing, residential fencing, whatever your needs are. 904-356-4821 or Coyle, that's C-O-Y-L-E, CoyleJacks.com. The best in the business, my friends from Coyle & Sons, the best fencing folks in all of Jacksonville. I can promise you that. Frangie, Carline, LaSelva with you. The Bills and the Jags get together. They've played 20 times, Hayes. It's 10-10, the series. They've only played two of those games have been postseason games. The Jags won them both. 30-27 in Jim Kelly's last game. Knocked him out of the game, as you will remember, way back in the day. And then, of course, they won 10-3 in that 17 season. That wasn't as good a game, but we won the game. The Bren Koyak game, as you called it.
That's right.
Koyak in the
Crazy for Koyak.
Koyak in the back of the end zone. Jalen Ramsey picks off Tyrod Taylor late on a diving interception, which I know you remember. And those are the two postseason games. Other than that, they're both they're 10-10 against each other, which I think is very interesting. Interesting seasons. Both of these teams were 7-4 at one point this year. After that, the Jags won the rest of them, got to 13-4. The Bills went 5-1 and got to 12-5. And the one loss was the 1-point loss to Philadelphia. So very similar teams, I would think, when these two teams get together.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Jaguars have more avenues to the win than the Bills. The Bills are, struggling defensively. They've got injury issues. They don't know who their kicker is. So it's, it's hard to, count on Buffalo, I think, playing outstanding defense and special teams. But what they do have is the reigning MVP in Josh Allen. And he's had a couple weeks to get healed because obviously when we saw them lose the Eagles game, he clearly was not close to 100%, and it affected him. And they have the league's rushing champion in James Cook. So, I mean, they have two superstar talents in their offensive backfield. And that's the Bills' path. The Bills' path is Josh Allen and James Cook have incredible days, and they're able to win a shootout. Other than that, it's hard to foresee the Bills winning this game if Allen and Cooks are held in check. They don't have a great receiving core. We talked about it. Their defense is beat up and doesn't defend the run well, and the kicking situation is an issue there. So, it's one of these things where I think the Jaguars have way more of the matchup advantages in this game. I think they also have the intangible advantages in this game. But all that goes away if Josh Allen throws for 3 touchdowns and runs for 3 touchdowns.
The scary part about the Bills is Josh Allen can take over the game. It's more than just which team is better. Is when you've got a Michael Jordan, Babe Ruth type in your lineup, and he's not that, but you get my point. When you have a star, Steph Curry type in your lineup, even if you don't have the best starting 5, he can take over the game and beat your team, and that's what you hope doesn't happen in the game. The best tackler in the game is Foye Oluokun because he may be the best tackler in the league. He's so very good, and he's the subject of this Hayes Carline one-on-one.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars middle linebacker Foye Oluokun here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now that we've gotten to the end of the regular season, over 140 tackles. Again, another outstanding season for you, Foye. How did you think it went?
I was growing every week. New coordinator, new teammates a little bit, but we had a goal to just get better and better every week. So I'm happy. I think we, myself and the team, we all got better, more comfortable in our roles and in our assignments and stuff, understanding how our teammates are playing. So you saw us just get better as the year went on. So obviously we gifted ourselves the opportunity to keep playing with these boys, so I want to keep getting better for them.
How much did the achievement of being the top run defense in the NFL, how much did that mean to you?
I wanted to win these games, so I think that was what was required to win games, keep people out of running the ball and stuff, and try to attack through the air. Then we had a lot of takeaways because of it. So it was just a way to win games, and everybody kind of playing 11 as one. That's how to really do it. Like everybody kind of owned their gaps, got shuttered and got to the ball. A lot of gang tackling. So I was just very, very happy to play well as a team.
How much did Devon Hamilton contribute to that?
He's best in the league. You see him week in, week out. When he gets a single, he's dominating, taking on double teams when it's necessary. And then the extra effort he's given on stretch plays and stuff, like even when the ball not running up in the middle, he's running on screens and stuff. That's just kind of how we played as a defense. So, seeing somebody like him do that, everybody's kind of feeding off of that as well. That's just how we're playing as a defense right now.
What stands out when you watch James Cook?
Fast. He running like his brother, man. I was blessed to play his brother earlier in my career, and he's running very, very slippery, very, slashy, but he can bounce it, very elusive, strong runner, fast, so gets the ball in space and goes with it. So hell of a player. It's our job to stop him.
How much do you communicate to the young guys? Look, Josh Allen may do some stuff. He may extend a play, make something happen out of nothing, but we just got to move on if that happens.
Yeah, that's just playoff football. It's our plays to execute first quarter to last quarter. Obviously, they're going to try to do what they can to combat our defenses and stuff, and that's one of his strengths, getting out the pocket, running around, making something happen. So we're going to try to not have him do that, and I'm not going to ever, concede that. But if that does happen, try to combat the next play and find out what we can do to stop that from happening.
Boy, Antonio Johnson with 5 interceptions. What kind of growth did you see out of that young man this year?
It's all about communication and being in the right spots and stuff, and that way you're able to anticipate plays. When the game slows down for him, he's a hell of an athlete and stuff. So really just the growth of becoming, understanding the scheme and understanding what he's supposed to be doing and understand how all defenses attack our defense. When that ball in the air, he's a hell of a player. So it's really just the pre-snap stuff and the communication, being trustworthy to himself, and now he's able to flourish.
Kincaid and Knox give Buffalo, a pretty good group at tight end. What stands out when you watch those guys on film?
Just dynamic, can do many things at the tight end position, split out as receivers or kind of hide in there in the core, block, and then slip out. Good run after the catch, good route running in themselves, so matchup problems, really. They're all around great players, good tight ends, and it's our job to stop them.
How much are you looking forward just to the environment, playoff football here Sunday in Jacksonville?
It's fun. I think the best part about this team is that you don't really feel, it is the playoffs obviously, but it's the next week for us, and it just feels like we right back to work as if it was a regular season. Obviously the stakes are high and everything, but we're just attacking it how we've been doing the whole season and taking the game how we've done during this whole run. There's nothing much else to it. Just execute along the other team executes.
Foye Oluokun, thank you so much for your time. Always enjoy speaking with you, and you're always very gracious. So thank you so much. Best of luck to you on Sunday.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, Foye Oluokun.
Good dude.
Absolutely. Leading the Jaguars with 143 tackles. That's 59 more than anyone else on the team.
How about that? 59. He's a really good player. And I will tell you this. He and Devin Lloyd together have finally become what you would hope they were all along. That's a good linebacking. And Gardeck, you're not in base very often, but when you're in base, that's a good linebacking core now. I mean, it really is. I mean, they've done a good job. I can't wait for the game. It's going to be an awful lot of fun, certainly. Coming up, Bills and Jags coming up on Sunday. We'll talk a lot more about that as we continue on. Let's take a break. We got headlines after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL is multimedia. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
You can't buy this kind of media exposure.
1010XL, maximum media exposure.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be an 8-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient. The only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. I've been buying my vehicles there since 1982 because they care about their customers and are invested in our local community, including supporting walk-off charities and all we're trying to do to give underprivileged kids a chance to play baseball. Treating you right, giving the most back to the community, more choices and better prices for you. So who has put the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. Visit the showroom off Cassett Avenue or shop 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com. Remember again, who does it best? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
All right, folks, our private equity fund just bought another one in Jacksonville.
Love it. Let's make sure the website says locally trusted.
Should we change the number to a Florida area code?
Nah, just pretend we're local.
Meanwhile, Holland Sons Plumbing didn't need a rebrand to stay local. We're family-owned, veteran-operated, and proud to call Jacksonville home. So if you want a plumber who actually lives in your neighborhood, not in a boardroom, call Holland Sons Plumbing. Holland Sons Plumbing. Locally owned, nationally unbothered.
Learn everything you need to know about the Jaguars on Duval Rundown. I'm Hayes Carlyon. Join me each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:04. You can find Duval Rundown on all the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Frank Frangie here.
These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jags. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jags, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjags.com.
It's the Happy Renewal Year sale at Renewal by Anderson. Buy one, get one, 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But this offer expires January 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family's secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do, stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here, as is JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. They will take great care of you. Frank, let's start with the Jaguars and the Bills. The injury report is out for today. Some notables for the Jaguars. Cole Van Lanen did not practice with the foot. Jarian Jones did not practice with an illness. And Patrick McCary, this is actually some good news, was able to practice in limited fashion with the back injury. So that would give you some good vibes that the starting right guard might be able to make his return. He's missed the last couple of games. The Bills had 6 players held out of practice.
Yeah, I don't know their situation as well as I do the one here, but I think the Jags are a pretty healthy team. With Jarian and Cole Van Lanen, I don't know since they weren't out there today. We'll learn later in the week. But by and large, it's a healthy team. And I love the fact that McCary was back on the field today. And look, a lot of things have fallen right for these Jaguars, and good health has been part of it. It really has. Look, you lost your second overall pick for the year, so you can't say it's been totally good health. But more good health than not, it really has been.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit more about the Bills. We've obviously broken down Josh Allen and his talents. Let's talk a little bit about James Cook. He won the rushing title with over 1,600 rushing yards. Liam Cohen met with reporters earlier today and talked about what makes James Cook so elusive.
Slippery, elusive, smooth. He's just has a great feel for mid-zone, for the zone game and being able to press combinations, and then just like he has such a great feel. And then duo, like if you collapse it all, he's fast enough to bounce it and go one-on-one with a corner that's got a crack replace, and he's fast enough to run around the edge and make that guy miss. I mean, the run against the Browns, that has been all over the place. I mean, it was ridiculous. They had 2 guys unblocked in the hole, and he just makes them both miss, and he's off to the races. And they use him a lot in the pass game as well.
It's hard to win a rushing title. There's a lot of running backs, the best running backs in the world are in that league. It's hard to win a rushing title. I told you this yesterday. I didn't think he'd be that great a player because he was always Dalvin Cook's younger brother, right? He's a really good player. Again, I don't know how many great weapons they have. We had this conversation yesterday, but they have two. Josh Allen and James Cook. I almost said Dalvin Cook. James Cook, that's two good players.
Without a doubt. Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence also met with reporters earlier today and was asked if he feels vindicated now that people are praising his play.
Not really. I mean, I just think I've said it a bunch. I mean, it just gives you perspective. I've always had confidence in who I am, and I just try to go to work every day and get better. And I know in my career haven't always played my best every single Sunday, and that's part of growing and learning and evolving. And there's some growing pains, and there's some things that you got to go through. And I just think I have a better perspective through all of it. And at the end of the day, I just want to keep getting better. And that's, people can say what they want now, all the good stuff, and I don't really care about any of that either. I just want to keep getting better and keep finding ways to win.
He's in a great place.
He is in a great, and that is perfect. And that is vintage Trevor. I'll give him credit. He never got rattled when the criticism was happening, and he's never taken victory laps when the good stuff is being said. He just shows up and plays. He's a good teammate. I said this the other day. It's hard in the NFL, Hayes, because you've got even though it's supposed to be all for one and one for all, you got some guys who are making way more money and are making hundreds of millions of dollars and are on all the commercials and are on all the posters, and they've still got to be one of the guys, and he does a great job of that. And what a great soundbite that was. This is just a guy that shows up to do his job. And whether you're telling him he did a lousy job or you're telling him how great he is, he shows up and does his job. As cliche as I know that sounds, and I get it. It sounds so coach-speaking cliche, but it is true, and that's who he is.
Before we move off of the Jaguars, a reminder that we have a fantastic Frangie show lined up for you on Friday. Come out to Island Wing Company, the Tamaya location on Beach Boulevard. Grand opening. Can't wait to be out there. We'll be out there from 4 to 6 doing the show, and then we'll hang out after. Really looking forward to a great playoff pep rally.
Going to give away about 80 T-shirts. You want T-shirts?
Ooh.
Oh, I got it. And you know what? We got a theme on them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Our GM, Steve Griffin, who's really good at this, came up with a fun theme. I'm not telling you now.
Okay.
But if you want a themed T-shirt with a fun little slogan.
That's great.
I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
Don't try and get it out of me.
Yeah.
But we have a fun little theme, and we're going to give them away. On Friday, we'll be there 4 to 6. Mayor Donna Deegan's going to be there with us because she's excited about what it means for the city. We've got some other guests that we think are coming by. But I'm giving away 80 T-shirts. 80 T-shirts in 2 hours. That's right at 40 an hour. I did the math.
That's fantastic.
And so we're going to give away some T-shirts with a fun little theme. So you're not going to want to miss it. Come see us at Island Wing Company, the brand new, beautiful location. Right, they call it the Tamaya location. If you know that area of town, Beach Boulevard. If you're heading east on Beach Boulevard, it's between Hodges and Kernan, and we're going to have a big time, and we're going to party, and you and I think are going to hang around a little bit afterwards and hang out with folks, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Can't wait. Let's get it to around the NFL. Let's start with John Harbaugh. This broke late in the show yesterday, the Ravens firing John Harbaugh after 18 years. Everybody is lining up to get John Harbaugh that's looking for a coach. But Frank, if you were advising John Harbaugh, is there a job that you think he should covet the most?
Yeah, that's a great question. Number one, the first thing you said is correct. All the open jobs are going to want him. Okay, every job that's open, they're all going to want him. I'm intrigued with Atlanta's roster, including the quarterback. I think of all the rosters out there, that might be the best roster. But I got to tell you, I saw him linked to the Giants and Jackson Dart. And I think if they can build a little bit, they pick very high, obviously. I really like Jackson Dart. I think he's going to be a star. I think he's going to be what Drake May has become. So probably for me, of the open jobs, those two. Probably for those two reasons. What about you?
I think I'd take the Giants.
Yeah,
over the Falcons. I just think some of that's the prestige of the organization. But I think if I was John, and I would want to be in the NFC, so I don't have to butt heads with Jim with the Chargers. So I would be looking NFC. And I think the New York Giants do now have. I mean, he's got to get rid of the GM, but they'll do that.
And you're starting to see the link. You're starting to see is Harbaugh. By the way, he's the top candidate now. Just like Mike Vrabel. The minute Mike Vrabel became available, I thought, how is Mike Vrabel available? How many times we said that on this show?
Yeah.
What were the Titans thinking that they made Mike Vrabel available to the other teams? I feel the same way about John Harbaugh. I think he's a really good coach.
Absolutely. He'll win big again wherever he lands.
Some coaches have been a good coach, but I don't know if they still are.
Right.
I certainly think Bill Belichick fell.
Right.
But this guy, I think, still is. I really do.
I agree. The Saints are sticking with Tyler Shuck at quarterback. The rookie, pretty good numbers this year. Completed 67.6% of his passes, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So not a lot of mistakes. Probably the typical, was able to take a profit with the high completion percentage on a roster that really had no talent. So, but that's interesting that Tyler Shuck looks like New Orleans is going to put off any plans of going after another quarterback.
Well, here's the thing. It's not a good time to be looking for a quarterback. Most of the good young quarterbacks in the NFL are locked up. It's not a great draft for quarterbacks. Mendoza kid might be okay, but I don't think he's changing a franchise. So it's not a good time. There are teams that need to go find a quarterback. It's not a good time to be one of those teams, Hayes. So that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't.
And speaking of that weak quarterback class, Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson taking full advantage. He is entering the draft.
He might be one of the guys that's a better pro than college player because he's got all the pro stuff. He's 6'4" or so, got a rifle arm. He's athletic. For whatever reason, it never happened at Alabama for a multitude of reasons. We see some guys sometimes that are better pros than they were in college. He might be one of those.
I have a hot take on him.
Okay, what is it?
I think he's going to come back to college.
Oh, you do?
We saw Cam Ward do this. We saw.
That's a good point.
Carson Beck. Even I'm just naming Miami guys, but we've seen multiple quarterbacks who say they're going to the draft, then they get their grade and they come back. I don't know if he'll come back to Alabama, but he still has a week to jump in the portal. Yeah. I'd be shocked if he makes if he goes to the NFL next year. Yeah,
okay. Interesting. Yeah, like it. Let's get it to college basketball. Thomas Houck and Alex Condon each scored 21 points as the Gators ripped 18th-ranked Georgia 92-77 last night in Gainesville. The Gators owned a 56-35 rebounding edge.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a lot about that game when we come back from the break. The Gators have a great front court. It hurt Georgia when they lost the center, but the Gators still laid it to them. The Gators were going to beat them either way. That front court was as good as it can be last night. There's still concerns at the shooting. They just don't shoot it very well, and that might be the reason they're a Sweet 16 team and no more. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get you out on today's musical note. This week, back in 1983, one of the greatest synth riffs of all time, the Eurythmics' Sweet Dreams, an 80s staple.
How 80s is this song? This is about as 80s. This is about as 80s. There's a handful of songs that are about as 80s.
This is on the Mount Rushmore.
It really is.
Songs.
It really is. Well done as always.
You.
Hour 2 is next. Stay with us.
Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Hayes Carline with your playoff perspective, brought to you by Harold and Harold. Buffalo has started slow this season, getting outscored by 11 in the first half. However, in the second half, the Bills are outscoring teams by 127. The Jaguars have outscored teams by 148 points through the first 3 quarters of this season, but have been outscored by 14 in the fourth quarter. The Jags need to build a 2-possession lead heading into Sunday's fourth quarter. That's your playoff perspective, brought to you by Harold and Harold. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Flipping flapjacks and football on your game day.
I smell bacon.
On the Terminix Kickoff Show. Live from Tailgaters Parking. Presented by Campione Law and American Electrical Contracting. 5 hours before kickoff on 1010XL.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. The Jags are hot, and so is Showtime with the selection of autographs on helmets, jerseys, and football cards. Showcases dedicated to the Jaguars like Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, and more. Go Jags and shop local at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee. Man, it's incredible. Just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. I was so impressed. It's about connecting with nature, with food, with community. And now you can own your very own handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm.
Everything you need is there. You'll hardly need to go grocery shopping. Learn more about all of it at okiefarm.com. That's OKE farm.com. The farm at Okefenokee.
What does Johnny O know best? O knows Jacksonville football.
Okay, say, oh my.
Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft on 1010XL.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I've got a challenge for you. Go stand next to your window. You feel a cool draft? Well, then you need Pella. The experts at Pella Windows and Doors can easily fix that with energy-efficient windows to keep the drafty air out and save you money every month. And how does 0% interest for 60 months sound? Go to PellaJax.com and schedule a free home energy checkup. That's PellaJax.com, or visit the showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows and tell them you heard about Mike's challenge on 1010XL.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie. All those festive holiday feasts probably have added a few extra pounds, but here's the thing. You can make this the year you finally lose the weight safely and for good. Now, you know by now my daughter Amber kicked off the journey with Awaken 180 weight loss back in the summer. You ready for this? She's lost 100 pounds in 6 months. Man, is she proud of that. 100 pounds. And she really did it with this really, really good plan. There's no shots, no medications, no supplements, just real food and a proven plan. That's right. With Awaken 180, you can still enjoy your favorite food and drink. No more yo-yo diets or feeling deprived. The structured program empowers you to control your eating without hunger. It really is doable. Don't just resolve to make the change. Make the change. Call Awaken 180 today and take that first small step. Book your consultation now, 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It worked for Amber. It really did. And it can work for you. Awaken 180 weight loss.
Pick it here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
Flame Broiler, the Rice Bowl King, is turning up the flavor with new char wings. These wings are charbroiled, never fried, grilled to perfection for a big taste without the grease. Grab them as a 3-piece or 10-piece side, or make it a meal with a 6 or 8-piece combo, served with rice and a drink. Order pickup or delivery today from any of Flame Broiler's 5 Jacksonville locations, or call 904-619-2786. Flame Broiler. Bold flavor done right.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update brought to you by Zero Res. The Florida State Seminoles are potentially suffering 2 big losses to the transfer portal with wide receiver LaWayne McCoy as well as defensive back Earl Little Jr. The Orlando Magic are on a back-to-back coming off a disappointing 112-120 loss to the Wizards last night. Tonight they're in Brooklyn taking on the Nets at 7:30. It's 76 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Back to a Coyle & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it, too.
We sure appreciate our friends from Coyle & Sons. One more time, they were out there all day today working on the Bregan Baseball Complex, commercial fencing like that, residential fencing like at my home. They do it all for us, and they'll certainly do it for you as well. 904-356-4821 or CoyleJax.com. All right, watch the Gator basketball game last night, as I know you did. They handled Georgia. Again, in fairness to the Dogs, let's point out they lost their 6'11", 260-pound dominant center. And when you're playing a team that's got all those inside guys, a buddy of mine is a dire Georgia fan, the minute the kid went out, And I know he had a chance. He thought Georgia had a chance to win that game. He said, we have no chance now because of your front line. He was exactly right.
Yeah.
So
Well, you can't throw a forearm.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, no. I don't think anyone's debating whether
Well,
he
but
should.
it's not like he got hurt. For people that didn't see the game, it's not like he rolled an ankle.
Correct. Yeah.
How far into the game did he get kicked out?
10 minutes in.
Oh,
yeah, and he threw a punch. I mean, he absolutely should have been kicked out. There's no debating he should have been kicked out. But I think it's not fair to say it didn't affect the team because it probably
sure,
did. So,
yeah.
But anyway, nonetheless, Florida wins the game easily. Hayes thought they'd win by 14-15. That's exactly what they did. So the good of that is Georgia's pretty good, and they handled them. Florida at home's a different team, and that's the first game of significance they played at home. No one's beaten them there. They may be 10-5, but none of those 5 losses are at home. So they've been a pretty good team, and they get to play a big one on Saturday now because Tennessee comes in, and now you really see if that O-Dome thing factors in. But once again, they were 6 of 25 from the arc. They can't make them. They can't shoot. They can't shoot. Houck can make shots the way a forward makes shots. You know, he's not a 3-point shooter. He's a really good player who can make 3-pointers. That's different than being a dead-eye 3-point shooter. He's a very good player who can make 3-pointers. He's Corey Brewer. He's what Corey Brewer was. Corey Brewer wasn't a 3-point shooter. The 3-point shooters were Humphrey and Torian Green and Walter Hodge off the bench. But Corey Brewer was a really good player who could make 3-pointers, and that's what Houck is, a really good player. Here's what I would do. I would not start Xavier Lee. There's stuff he could be your backup point guard. He's your second best handle. He can be your he doesn't he's not physical, but he's athletic. So he's a good passer. He'll make a 3 every once in a while. I think he made 1 last night, but he can't shoot. We know he's not going to shoot at this level. You can't have 2 starting guards who can't shoot. You cannot do it. You can't have 2 starting guards. Anymore, you can't really win much with 1 starting guard that can't shoot, but you damn sure can have 2. I would start Urban Klavzar. He played 25 minutes last night. Lee played 26, so they played about the same amount of time. He doubled him in points. I would start Klavzar. He'd be my starting 2 guard. Boogie Fland, who can't shoot either, would be my starting point guard. I would try and get 28 to 30 minutes a game out of Klavzar, and I know that means that you're giving up some stuff defensively. To the Gators' credit, they were very good defensively last night against a really high-scoring team. They ran at shooters. They got the defensive rebound. They had a hand in someone's face almost the entire game. And you lose a little bit of that. Although Klavzar played 26 minutes of that good defense. I would try and get to 28 to 30 minutes of him. I would have Xavier Lee as your backup both spots, backup point guard. And Hayes, I would need Urban Klavzar to get it up 11, 12 times a game. So even if there's some off-balance ones, last night he was, 3 for 6, I think. I would need Klavzar shooting 12. He's the one guy, and he's the only, unless Alex Lloyd or C.J. Ingram or something we just don't know about, he's all you got. He's literally, other than Thomas Houck, who's a good player, a slasher, a 6'9" guy, a get-to-the-rim guy who can also shoot threes. He's the only pure 3-point shooter you got. And I tell you what, he's looking to shoot it. He's the one guy that's not tentative. The other ones are tentative because they know they're not good shooters. I would start Fland and Klavzar in my backcourt. Because Fland actually does some good things. He gets to the basket. He defends. He handles the ball. He just can't shoot. And Lee is a flashier guy that probably is playing at a level too high right now. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
He's probably playing at a level too high right now. Klavzar would be my starting guard. I would sacrifice the defense, and I want Urban Klavzar getting up. I'm not exaggerating. Somehow, some way, he's got to get 10 to 12 3-point shots up a game. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean they've got to figure something out, and it does feel like Todd Golden last night kind of reached his breaking point about it finally publicly acknowledging that this isn't a slump. This is who this team is. He talked in his press conference afterwards. This is his direct quote. "We know our ceiling's not as high with our inconsistent perimeter shooting, but to beat a really good Georgia team at home here by 15 is a really good win for our program." It's the first time that I've seen
the first 5 words of that sentence
where he's acknowledged this isn't getting fixed.
Right.
Like these guys aren't coming out of this. This is who we are. And if this is who you, it's not sustainable.
Right.
I mean, it just can't be this grotesque in terms of the outside shooting. And so you got to do something. And yeah, if you've got a guy on the bench that's limited, but can hit from deep and Clavs you got to play him.
Yeah.
I mean, and look, if Fland and Lee get upset and Lee or what, fine. Then you got to, then you'll deal with the consequences of that.
Who cares?
But yeah, then you just assume, I mean, look, if no one wants anybody to get hurt, but if you found out today that Xavier and Lee or Boogie Fland got injured in practice and were out for the year, does it change how you feel about this team at all? It wouldn't.
Right.
You know, so if they don't like it, then they can move on. But yeah, you got to find shooting because the front court is so dominant.
Right.
I mean, how they could win a game last night against a ranked team by 15 points, where, I mean, Fland and Lee are a combined 4 of 19 shooting from the field and 1 of 8 shooting the 3.
Right. And
I mean, so you just need a little bit. If you're going to sacrifice some defense, you'll be fine. But it's got to become a more balanced team, or they have no chance of any success in March.
And let me get back to my point, is by starting him, there's a big difference. You say, well, he's playing the same amount of minutes. Now, there's difference between being a starter. One of the best things they did with Lee Humphrey and Michael Frazier, Billy Donovan did. Neither one of those were great players. Lee Humphrey played better defense than people realize, but he wasn't going to the NBA. Neither was Michael Frazier. They weren't these NBA talents. But because they started the game, A, you get into a rhythm earlier. B, you change how the other team defends you. Okay? If Urban Clavjar starting the game and you've got to defend him and he lets a 3 go in the first minute of the game, guess what? The big guys now have a clear lane. You can't drop back on them because finally now you have to worry about a shooter. One of the reasons that front court was so good last year is you could never double down on a guy. You could never front a guy because you had 3 bombers outside making everything. So and Humphrey and Michael Frazier both started. They were starters their whole time, and you knew they were firing. When they got off the bus, they were shooting. One thing I like about Clavjar, if he's got a look, he's letting it fly. He's the only one like that. Even Lee and Fland are tentative shooters now because they know they're not good shooters. Lee a little less. Fland doesn't want to take threes. Lee takes them, he just can't hit them. So the move based on what we've seen, we're not at practice. Start Urban Clavjar, let him get shots up early on, and change the way people feel about your team. That's what I would do.
And the other thing, too, is bad perimeter shooting is contagious. And it works the other way, too. Like if you start Clavjar, let's say Saturday at noon against Tennessee in Gainesville, and Clavjar hits a couple early.
Out of the gate.
Then maybe that does... Maybe for the rest of the team, it's not them making the 3, which obviously would be the ideal, but at least it gets the positive vibes going in the building that maybe this is the day we come out of it collectively as a team. Whereas now it's like you just don't. I mean, and Condon's got to stop shooting them too.
He does.
He only shot 2 last night, but of course he missed them both.
But I cracked up. I cracked up both times he shot. I mean,
one landed in Key Largo, and the other one landed in Antarctica.
I cracked up both times he shot. I'm thinking of you. But your
they
point,
weren't close.
But the point you just made is that what you said is real. That's not just radio talk. Guy makes a couple, then everybody's a little looser when they shoot one. Then that what you said does happen. It does happen. You got to have a guy make a couple. How many times you see it in baseball, JJ? You can't hit. Then someone gets a blooper. Then another gets a line drive base hit. Then all of a sudden, everybody's looser and you're better. Your whole lineup hits better. That's a very real thing. So hopefully they'll do it. We'll see. Here's what I think. They are a good basketball team. They're a tournament team. They're 10-5 now, 1-1. Get to 9 or 10 wins in the league, which I think they will get to. You get 18 games. But I think they're way more 10-8, 9-9 SEC team than they are 14-4 or 15-3 SEC team, which is what I thought before the season they might be.
And I think Todd Golden conceded that point last night, which I thought was really, really interesting. I mean, he's not talking about like how successful necessarily
but he was honest.
that they will be.
We are who we are.
He laid it out like this is who this team is.
Yeah,
and if you're this bad at shooting, I mean, they are literally one of the worst teams shooting the 3 in the country.
And by the way, by saying that. He's putting it on him. He recruited this team.
They said on the broadcast, it's projected to be, if it stays like this, this will be the worst three-point shooting team in Florida basketball history.
Pretty amazing.
They've had some terrible teams.
They really have. This is that bad of a shooting team. So play the one guy that really – they have one good shooter. Play him. Play him and let him get shots up. We'll take a break. More Jags Bills talk after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
When the hourglass runs out of sand, 1010XL puts time back on the clock. Hacker Leon and Coach Gerald Ingram bring you the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter, flavored by Hurricane Grill and Wings and Apex Roofing and Contracting.
Looking for a dealership that treats you like family? Come to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they are North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with their lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, where tradition meets trust. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
'Tis the season for bowl picking.
You got the chance to win $1,000 in jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
Brought to you by Burlock and Barrel American Whiskey.
You watch them, but can you pick them?
Get your picks in at 1010XL.com.
Want a fresh and flavorful tailgate this season? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad perfect for lunch, parties, and your tailgate. Order 3 ways at one of 4 area locations. Call 1-833-MY-CHICK or online at chickcatering.com.
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH, Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
This is Hayes Carline with your playoff perspective, brought to you by Harrell and Harrell. Led by Josh Allen and James Cook, the Bills are armed with the NFL's best run offense, averaging 159 yards a game. The Jaguars counter with the NFL's best run defense, giving up just 85 yards a game. If the Jaguars can hold Buffalo to 120 rushing yards or lower, they will beat the Bills and advance to the divisional round of the playoffs. That's your playoff perspective, brought to you by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Back to a Coyle & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it too.
We do thank our friends from Coyle & Sons, the best in the business, 904-356-4821, or Coyle, C-O-Y-L-E, CoyleJacksTX.com. Frangie, Carline, and La Selva with you. So, is Buffalo, in your mind, the most Jacksonville-like city in the league? Is there one that,
I
mean, because
guess,
it's not
yeah.
Southern. I mean, Nashville's Southern, but now Nashville's got hockey and Nashville's got music first and foremost. So I don't sense. I one time thought Jacksonville, Charlotte, and Nashville were similar, but Charlotte now has got basketball. Charlotte's one day going to have baseball. Buffalo, to me, the Buffalo people. I've always said the Pittsburgh people and the Jacksonville people are similar. It's a blue-collar town. It's a loyal, not that the other markets aren't loyal, but it's a loyal town. But I think Buffalo and Jacksonville, in terms of loyalty and how much they love this team, I'm not saying if the Denver Broncos don't go, because Denver's a great fan base. It was packed when we went out there. It means a lot to them. That is a Bronco town through and through. But there's something about what the Bills mean to Buffalo and what the Jags mean to Jacksonville. And again, I know that that's everywhere, but you get what I mean?
I do.
There's a similarity there. There's a blue collar. We really appreciate it. Buffalo knows they're not New York City or Boston or
They're
Philly.
both underdogs.
They're underdogs.
And they don't even have college football.
Right. Well,
So
and
that's like
correct.
all they got.
But that's right. But they're both underdogs, and the appreciation you have for the good times is 10 times higher because of that underdog status. I guess that's the point.
Yeah, I think it's a good call. You could maybe throw Green Bay in there.
Yeah, but Green Bay's had so much success.
Correct.
Had Green Bay not had the unreal success it's had, particularly in the 60s,
Right.
then I would certainly throw them in.
Yeah, in terms of just the small town feel for an NFL outpost. Yeah, I mean, I think there are similarities between the Bills and the Jags, and in terms of, like the stuff that you're pointing out, and it's one of those things that somebody is, I think, getting ready to go on a run. I mean, I think the Jaguars are going to beat the Bills, but if the Bills come to Jacksonville and beat the Jaguars and end this win streak, the Bills probably are going to the Super Bowl. I mean, this
I agree.
This does feel like, and we'll say this, and it won't obviously happen, but it does feel like the winner of this particular game Sunday at 1 has an excellent chance to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I said this before. I think this is the hardest game of the postseason until the Super Bowl for the Jags. Now, that doesn't mean they won't win and lose in New England. You can lose any week. But on paper, for me, this is the hardest one. If you win this game, here's the math. The rest of the games you're playing are either against young quarterbacks or a 42-year-old quarterback. That's who's left in the tournament after this game. This is a 29-year-old quarterback who's the reigning MVP. It's a quarterback league. If you win this one, what's left are talented young quarterbacks in Drake May and Bo Nix and C.J. Stroud. Okay, don't get me wrong, very talented quarterback. And a 42-year-old guy that's not nearly what he once was. So that's what's left in the tournament. So to your point, Hayes, if the Bills win, I promise you the Bills think they're going to the Super Bowl. I promise you Buffalo fans think, look, it finally happened. Mahomes is out, Burrow's out, Lamar's out. We got Trevor, Drake May, Bo Nix, C.J. Stroud, and over the hill Aaron Rodgers. I promise you, if you're if you're a Buffalo talk show right now, you're thinking we have never been more well positioned than this. That's why this game is. That's why, to your point that you made, the pressure is significant on Buffalo for that reason.
Without a doubt. And again, the Bills have not started fast all year long, which in this kind of a matchup could really come back to haunt them, because you just can't anticipate being able to come back from a 3-possession deficit against the Jaguars when you can't stop the run. Houston was able to do it. Why? Because if they know you're about to run the ball, they are going to stuff you. The only way to maintain a lead on the Houston Texans is to keep throwing it on them and keep them off balance. Buffalo doesn't have that luxury. I mean, if the Jaguars are up 17 going into the fourth quarter, Etienne and Tootin and Allen are going to be able to close that game out. You would certainly anticipate, based on Buffalo's attrition and how they've played the run this year. And so, yeah, I mean, in terms of the pressure, you also have the trend where the Bills have been outscored by 11 in the first half of their games this season, the Jaguars have outscored their opposition by 97 in the first half and by 148 in the first 3 quarters. So with Liam Cohen's guidance, the Jaguars have been hot out of the gate. They've continued it. Really, their down quarter has been the fourth quarter, and it's the total opposite for the Bills. Lousy for 3 quarters, and then they really get going in. Well, lousy in the first half, and then they get going in the second half. But the pressure compounding that, if the Jaguars go into half with a 14-point lead, I mean, you got to think there's going to be a lot of anxious people in the Buffalo locker room saying, oh my gosh, can you imagine the heat we're going to take if we do not win this game? And I do think some teams can rise above that. But I think in Buffalo's case, it's always been an albatross, and I think it's always going to be an albatross for the Buffalo Bills until one day when they hoist the Lombardi Trophy. But until they do that,
it's in the DNA.
It's in the DNA, and it's in the DNA as much as that exists with any team in the NFL. Buffalo, just this is the time of year where they let their fan base down. It's just historically.
And on top of all that, because they didn't win the division, the Patriots were better than them in the regular year, or maybe had an easier schedule, but had a better record. For that reason, I know the Bills Mafia travels, but there's going to be 67,000 Jaguar fans in this place. There'll be some Buffalo fans there because Buffalo travels. Buffalo A is around, B travels well. I know that. But I will tell you, that place is going to be rocking Sunday now. I mean, if you always wondered if you've ever not been to a Jaguar game or been to a Jaguar game and thought, well, it's a good crowd, but there's still some empty seats. There won't be any. There won't be any empty seats for this one, Hayes. This will be this. I can tell you right now.
It's sold out. I mean, if it's not, it's going. It's going to be.
And not just sold out in name. A lot of times you hear sellouts announced.
Yeah, good point.
But they don't look like it.
This will look like it.
This will look. There will be butts in every seat here, and that thing gets going. Duval gets going in that thing. Look out, Buffalo, no question. All right, let's talk to Kevin Kaplan. He is the Jaguar team physician. He's in studio after this on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
With a division title and a postseason game at the bank.
So many people contributed to this. So many.
It's playoff football in Duval.
This is a special group.
Jaguars, Bills.
This work's just getting started now, man.
Sunday at 1 on Duval's home of the Jaguars. 1010 XL.
1, 2, 3.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically, if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Best Bet is number 1. That's right, Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine have one-card poker, the fastest and easiest card game to learn and play. Play one card at a time, and the highest card wins even money. If the card values are the same, it's time for war, just like the game you remember. You must be 18 years or older to play. Learn all the games at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Discuss the beautiful game. The Coaches Show presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Baylor. Get an hour of soccer talk Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m.
Northeast Florida's highest-rated residential home electrical contractor is American Electrical, providing unsurpassed quality in Duval, St. Johns, Clay, and Nassau counties. No matter your electrical problem or project, large or small, American Electrical will get it done at a price that's right. High-quality electrician, that's who they are. Trusted company that's been on the First Coast for decades, proudly serving the community while being a big part of the community. Call American Electrical for all your electric needs at 737-7770. Wired right at a fair price.
The best wings in town are coming to River City Marketplace. Leon Cersei here. Wingstop is opening another North Jacksonville location soon at the end of December. You always get fresh, made-to-order wings in 11 flavors, including original, hot, garlic parm, and of course, lemon pepper. Wingstop now has 18 locations in Jacksonville, always open until 1 a.m. So skip the wait and order your wings online at wingstop.com and swing by to pick up at the brand new Wingstop location in River City Marketplace.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, is that a turtleneck?
Can't you feel it, Jason? There's a chill in the air, a definite nip.
I mean, it is January.
In Jacksonville, Jason. I didn't come here for cold.
Well, I wouldn't call this.
Cold weather gives me the sniffles. Sniffles turns to pneumonia. Suddenly, I'm in a hospital bed with a tube down my throat because Florida didn't get the memo about ignoring winter.
So switch over to heat.
What if my system can't remember how to heat?
Dude, put on these sunglasses.
Whoa.
Bueller Air & Plumbing can make sure your system is ready to switch from cooling to heat. We'll clean your heating coil to get rid of that burning dust smell and make sure you have the coolant pressure to keep your heat pump pumping out the heat.
I had no idea these sunglasses worked in the winter.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, our golden moment today certainly has been the opportunity to talk a lot of Jags and Bills, but our guest today so far has been Brett Hastings and talked all about collective bargaining and the possibility of it in college football. It's gone crazy. The free agent period of college football, the free agent world there has gone crazy, and Brett certainly summed it up for us. It's pretty simple. You can't have collective bargaining unless they're employees, and nobody wants them to be employees, so I think the Wild Wild West will continue on, and that's where we've been in the program today. Now let's do this.
Now time for the medical update with Jaguars team physician Kevin Kaplan, presented by Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
It is Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville. Our buddy Kevin Kaplan is here. How you doing, buddy?
It's great to be here still. We're still rolling, right?
Yeah, that's right. You all right? You good?
Doing great.
You ready for Sunday?
Ready to go. I'm ready. I'm playoff ready.
So listen, on Saturday night, I need you to get a lot of sleep.
Done.
You go to early on Saturday. What's a Saturday night like for you?
Yeah, hanging out with the kids, making some pizzas,
good.
Getting them ready.
Because what I'm going to tell you is we need to beat the Bills. So if we get like a broken arm, you need to fix it. Okay, we need to get them back in there. Okay, okay, get them back in. Your job's to get them back in the damn game. So there you go. So hey, good year from a health standpoint. Really good year for our guys, hasn't it been? Oh, for big picture.
Knock on wood. Yeah, great year. I mean, it's not like I can sit here and take credit. You look, when they get hurt, I'm there to diagnose and treat, but it's the guys that are there. It's Ferg, it's all the athletic trainers and the strength and conditioning staff and the way that they're practicing the players that I really think makes a difference. And I can say that now, having been around multiple coaches and seeing the way things are done. And I think that the year wears on the body. And so they just, all of them working together have to be really smart about keeping them healthy and keeping them on the field.
We've seen illness be a thing with this roster over the last few weeks. Jarian Jones didn't practice today, illness, but we've seen it. Can you kind of take us through, like, if a player gets the flu, what are things that the team is able to do that maybe the average citizen wouldn't get, that gets these guys able to play at such a high level so soon after contracting a virus.
Yeah, the most important thing is obvious things like making sure they're keeping up their hydration, their electrolytes. I mean, if guys are sick and vomiting and they're losing fluids, you really have to make sure that's on target to getting them ready for Sunday. Because if you don't, and you get to Saturday and then you start to catch up, you'll never get there. Then the medications, especially for flu, like Tamiflu, things like that, which we can all get as well. But the most important thing is trying to contain what's there, right? Because if a guy's sick and then he goes out on the practice field and they're sweat and they're all over each other, that's how things spread. So we just have to be smart. And the players have been great reporting when they don't feel well or if they think they may have a fever or something like that. And we separate them from the team. Obviously they're there and they're getting treatment because they're in the facility, but we just have to make sure that we're kind of quarantining them, not letting these things spread through.
I want to ask you, I want to go back to something you said a minute ago because it's funny. I had this conversation. I won't say with who because I won't say what team, but I'm serious about this. I had the conversation about a team that had a lot of guys hurt. A team that over the years had a lot of guys hurt. So my question to somebody in the football world was, is that a strength and conditioning thing? We think, well, get a different strength and conditioning coach because he's the one. We always think that. We always think strength and conditioning and nutrition and handling that poorly leads to injuries. And what I was told was that's not a myth, but it's not all. The bigger thing is coaches knowing how much to push them, how much to practice them, when to pull back. Hey, big picture. Is it more that? Is it more strength and conditioning? Is it more nutrition? I know the answer is all the above, but what more?
It is multifactorial, but you're right. I mean, we have so much data these days, and if coaches choose to use that data, it's extremely helpful. What guys have practiced too hard, what guys are in the red, what guys are in the green that are ready to go, that can go harder. What happened the last week, what was their volume? And it's not always, the sports science guys. We have Chris Bach as our sports science physician, and he's there, and it's not always a coach. If they want to go really hard one day, there's not a problem with that. But what I've learned from them, I mean, it's something I've learned over the course of years as well, is it's more about what happens to their body the following day and the next day. And so you can practice hard, and I'm trying to take this now down to the high school level, even with bowls and things like that. You can practice hard Monday and Tuesday, but then you got to realize what that's going to do to their bodies on Wednesday, Thursday. And so if you can just tailor the up and down, sports science isn't about you're in today, you're out tomorrow. It's more about how do you manage loads. And so to your point, this group has collectively gotten together, and I think they've managed it tremendously well.
They really have. But I mean, Hayes, I used to think, well, what Kevin just said, if you push them too hard Monday and Tuesday, that means later in the week they're out of gas. I know that.
Right.
But I didn't know the part of it where they're more susceptible to injury.
Right.
That's the part I didn't. That's a different conversation.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, if guys are running in the red, then their bodies aren't ready. Then maybe they strain a hamstring.
Yeah,
or
right.
Maybe
That's the thing.
No question. I mean, and the science is pointing to that, and that's where I think this is so important. It's not all about just go 2-a-days, and I mean that's when we see those injuries. Back in the day, they said, okay, well, we want to weed the guys out that are going to get hurt. We're going to make them go 2-a-days. Well, you can't do that now, right? I mean, because we know that guys get injured. So to your point, knowing the sports science certainly is helping us keep our injury rates lower. And, there's the luck of the draw sometimes where guys don't get hurt.
That's right.
But if you can control what you can control. And I think that's what they've done a good job of.
Obviously, the intensity raises when you get into the playoffs, and these guys are so tough anyway. But if they're on the fence of being able to play or not, what are some things that can be done from a pain standpoint if a player, again, particularly with the stakes that are involved in a playoff game, what are some things that you guys can do from a pain standpoint?
It depends on what the injury is. I mean, things like AC joint, where your collarbone meets up with your shoulder blade, that joint is not really much a functional joint. So guys get AC separations all the time. Because it's a non-functional joint, you could put some numbing medication in that area. You certainly can do anti-inflammatory medications before a game. We don't do things like opioids before the game, and it's narcotic medications. We don't do that. And then there's a ton of modalities that they use, the athletic trainers and Ferg and the staff use to kind of help the inflammation and discomfort. But the reality is, you look at a guy that we were just talking about, Josh Allen, who has a potential foot injury and what they're going to do for that. I mean, if it's a midfoot type sprain, he's going to feel that. I mean, he's going to be pushing off on that. But I bet they're doing an anti-inflammatory. They may even do an injection to try to minimize his discomfort. And how will it affect him? Who knows? I mean, if he's a tough player and he's going to want to play, but they're going to try to do everything they can to make that comfort level, as good as possible.
Where do you put the injection in? Does it matter depending on the athlete, or is there a certain spot that for like a midfoot sprain the injection would go?
Usually, if they have a sprain that's not a true like Liz Frank injury, which he wouldn't be able to run or walk, a lot of them are on what are called the dorsal capsule, which is on the very top of the foot. I watched one play where he went and grabbed that top of the foot, so maybe it's that, and you literally you put an ultrasound on the foot, you can look at that specific spot, and you can put the needle right there and really tailor where you want to put the medication.
All right, so you're buddies with all these doctors. You guys have like a fraternity. We have a 32-person text chain with all the play-by-play guys. It's kind of cool. Yeah,
That's awesome.
All 32 of us are on there. So you have a similar fraternity. When you guys talk, how often is there a circumstance that one of you guys, one of the team doctors, says, Coach Smith is on my ass to get him back in the game, and I tell him, Coach, he can't go, and Coach Smith says, get him in the damn game. That's your job. Old school. Does that happen anymore? Or coaches in general, and college, pro, anything? Are they more health conscious and less likely to say, get him back in the game? Does that question make sense?
It makes sense. I've been fortunate enough with the guys that
the Jacksonville guys have been pretty good about it. You've had good guys.
Yeah, I've never had someone force the issue with me. And I think, and maybe that's the way we explain the injuries, and here's what we have. I mean, to me, not all injury, it's not all like you're not hurt or you're hurt and you can't play. I mean, most of the injuries, aside from the big ones like a Liz Frank injury that puts a player out, are in a big gray zone. And the one thing that I always try to do is talk to the player, talk to the agent, and then talk to our athletic training staff and talk to Ferg. And it's a shared medical decision, right? I mean, there are risks to anything. But if you can get a player back on the field safely and they trust what you're telling them in terms of the injury and they understand, I go through the MRIs with them. I make sure they understand exactly what's going on. It's never a question of, hey, Doc, get him back in the game. It's a matter of, can this player get back in the game? Can he get back in the game safely? And most of the coaches, I would say, around the league, I mean, I've heard some are different. Right. So to your point, some of my friends that are physicians have said, this coach has been very tough.
I mean, is it safe to say that 30 , 40 years ago, every coach said get him back in the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way it was.
Right? I mean, wouldn't you think that
rub some dirt on it and get back out there, right? But it's a different world.
Well, not only rub some dirt on it, you're the damn team doctor. Get him in the game. Right. Yeah, I think that's real. I really do.
Yeah. We don't often talk about kickers, but Buffalo's kicker Prater has been dealing with a quad. Tried to come back and re-aggravated it. What is the difficulty with that specific position when you're dealing with a muscle injury in their leg?
Is that his kicking leg or is it his
that I
leg?
don't know.
I'd be curious. Either way, I mean, if it's his kicking leg, then that's certainly, as he follows through and goes to extend that leg to get that power, that's a problem. But even with a plant leg, I mean, he's got to plant off of that and fire that muscle. So if it's a quad strain, that's going to be a significant issue for him, especially if he just re-aggravated it, right? It was not totally healed. He tried to get back out there and kick, and now he re-aggravated. That's somewhat of a problem. We had that with Lambeau a few years ago. Remember he aggravated a hip flexor and
Speaking of kickers, why are they so good now? Is it better weight training? Is it they playing more soccer? Because nowadays, obviously, we have the best kicker in the world, but not just us. It used to be, and I'm an old guy, but it used to be a 42-yard field goal wasn't automatic.
Right.
Now it's a layup.
It's amazing.
Why is that?
That is a question I do not know. Is the way they're kicking? Is it the physics of how they're approaching the ball?
Do they work out more? Are they better athletes than they were 30 years ago?
It's possible that they're training different than they did back then. But to me, it's when you look at the guys that are kicking, it's not like they're massive individuals. So but to me, it's all physics, right? The way they kick, the way they plant, the way they're kind of pushed through. Who knows?
All right, final question for you before we go. What goes on in the blue tent? I need to know. I want to know who puts up the blue tent. How long does the blue tent stay up?
Yeah.
Why do we have a blue tent? So
we have a blue tent for privacy. So if I'm coming off the field, I have a microphone on my chest that I can call and say, "Hey, I want to go into the blue tent."
Okay. So you tell someone to put it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I tell someone to put it up. The athletic trainers will put it up, and that gives us the opportunity to evaluate. It used to be just a table out there, right? And everybody's watching you do your exam, right? And so this gives us the opportunity. The player can relax. It's not thousands of people and television cameras looking at them, looking at the injury. And as loud as it is around, it really calms things down for the player.
Really?
It
Okay.
really does,
I'll
because
be
you can
darned.
calm down and say, okay, look, here's what you got. Your MCL's sprained or your shoulders, this. And it just, for whatever reason, it just calms it down. It's only meant to be up while we're in there, or a concussion evaluation. They can do those in there. And then once we're out of the tent's supposed to go back up.
When Cam Ward left the field, did you know what it was? Could you tell?
I did just because it was right on our end zone,
Right.
and he landed right on the shoulder.
You knew.
And he just drooped his shoulder, and I just looked at Ferg and I said, "Hey, I bet you that's an AC joint."
Yeah.
And he said, "Do you think it's throwing shoulder?" And he landed on that. If you watch, he landed on that side, and then Foye, he wasn't trying to do any harm. He thought he was trying to get him down, and you crunch that AC joint on a throwing shoulder. That's hard.
Did you tell Ferg he's gone for the game? Would you have known?
No. I mean, I just
did you
said,
think that in your mind?
In my mind, I did. I mean, their last game, that's
Yeah.
an important player to them. Are they going to try to shoot him up and try to get him back out there with that throwing shoulder?
See, I would have thought shoot him up until he started walking. So where did he go? Why did he go to the right instead of the left to their locker room? Why did he do that?
For imaging?
He went to the blue tent first, probably.
Yeah, but when he left the sideline, rather than going from my vantage point to the left, which is where their locker room is, he went to the right.
He probably went up that tunnel because we have a transport cart, and they
Oh.
took him around that rubber hallway to the back, all the way to the
So
get
he,
back
he
straight.
wound up going back to the same area.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
All right. Well, good stuff. So, all right, listen, you need to get some sleep Saturday night because we need a broken arm. I need him back in there.
Not a problem.
That's your job. Kevin Kaplan is the team doctor. He's also with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville. You have an orthopedic need. Nobody does a better job than these guys. I promise you that. Kev, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Back to wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The odds for the remaining 4 teams in the College Football National Championship race, and the Indiana Hoosiers, who went 14-0, led by Heisman Trophy-winning quarterback Fernando Mendoza, the betting favorite to win the whole thing. They are plus 132 and coming off a rout against Alabama at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. They will go up against Oregon at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. The Ducks coming off a shutout win against Texas Tech, but will be without leading rusher Jordan Davidson, who had 15 rushing touchdowns this season. The Miami Hurricanes plus 340 to win the national title. They'll play Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl on Thursday night. The Rebels are plus 550 to win the national championship.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
It's January in Jacksonville, so you turn on the shower knob expecting hot water. Comes up cold. That's a tough loss to start the day, but Duck Duck Rooter is here to turn things around with the new year, new water heater promotion. Duck Duck Rooter makes replacing that old water heater a winning play. Right now, get a new water heater installed for just $14.99 on select models with standard installation. Call now to schedule your free estimate and take the cold shower off the scoreboard. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Here's hoping for a Raise the Roof football season. And here's knowing Next Gen Roofing is up for any job. Game day or storm season, you need a team you can trust. And you know what? You don't need a glitzy roofing company. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, no nonsense. Solid roofs at competitive prices and a commitment to the First Coast community. Right now, save up to $300 on your next roof replacement. When you need a roof, you need Next Gen Roofing. Team with you, it's a win every time.
Frangie here. Bono's Pit Barbecue has been serving up legendary barbecue on the First Coast for over 75 years, and right now, Bono's has a smoking deal for you. For just $12.49, you'll get Bono's signature pulled pork sandwich, a side, and a drink. But hurry, Duval. This pig deal is for a limited time only. With 18 Bonos around town, there's always one near you. And if you want the best catering, call 904-332-RIBS. That's 904-332-7427 or online at bonosbarbecue.com. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Jeff Lagerman for Napa Auto Care Centers. This football season, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or travel to the away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any one of the 29 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions. Napa Auto Care Centers offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace of mind warranty on most repairs. Find one near you at jacksnapaaautocaregroup.com.
You've probably heard the saying, it's not how hard you get hit, it's whether or not you get back up. Well, I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and I have a saying of my own. If you get hit with a personal injury or wrongful death, hit back and fight to make them pay. At Hastings Injury Law, we have the experience you want if you or a loved one suffer a car or trucking accident or wrongful death. Just call 904-HIT-BACK and we'll help you get up and hit back. Office is Jacksonville.
The Jaguars are AFC South champions.
How good is that?
And we're not done yet. Sunday, January 11th, head to the bank as the Jaguars face off against the Buffalo Bills in the NFL wildcard round. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. So let's bring the energy for the biggest game in franchise history. Join the playoff action by visiting Jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Hi, this is Dave Barker with IHRS. People ask, are your solutions for thinning hair permanent? Yes, our solutions have permanent natural results and are guaranteed to work. Put our 35 years of experience helping 10,000 plus men and women to work for your thinning hair. Our trademark hair transplant procedures will give you 3 times more hair in one procedure. PRP and laser treatments are fast, easy, and effective, and only take 30 minutes. Most of our staff have experienced hair loss ourselves. Our caring and confidential team can help you look better and feel better about yourself and restoring your hair again.
For your confidential consultation, call 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or go to hairforme.com. That's hairforme.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Back to a Coyle & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it, too.
Hi, we thank our friends from Coyle & Sons, the best in the business. 904-356-4821 or Coyle Jax, C-O-Y-L-E, JaxJAX.com. The best in the business, whether it's residential fencing, whether it's commercial fencing. Coyle & Sons, they're the best in the business for all your fencing needs. All right, we're getting closer. After this show, 2 more shows.
That's
we got
right.
a ball game. And don't forget, on Friday, the brand new Island Wing Company, the best wings. Oh my God, those wings are so good. They're open. They opened today, by the way. They opened today. So on Beach Boulevard, it's at Tamayo. If you know that area, it's literally right across the street from where I live. It's right across the street from Jacksonville Golf and Country Club on the Beach Boulevard side. So we're going to be there on Friday from 4 to 6. The mayor will be there. We're giving away all kind of T-shirts. We got all kind of other tchotchkes to give away. And we hope you'll come on by. And it's a pep rally, man. How do you beat a pep rally? Let's say a little Rick below.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm ready. You taught me not to wish my life away, so
Nope.
I'm working. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because you coached me on that. I'm not.
Enjoy yourself on Friday as well with the mayor. She's very happy today. You know why?
Why?
It's a great day for the state. Not only here in Jacksonville, but down the road in God's country.
Yeah.
Paul Bowling. He's an effort offensive lineman that Florida State got from Troy.
Wow.
Now, my understanding is it came down to UConn and Florida State. Florida State gave him the big check. They're going to insert him immediately into that starting offensive
Let me just
line.
tell you this.
It's a great day for the Noles.
Hang on. Someone asked me the other day if I thought FSU could win the ACC next year. I said no. But that was pre-Paul Bowling. Paul Bowling coming in, huh? Guard, tackle, center.
JJ's into memorabilia and all that. I want a Paul. I don't care what number he wears. I want a Paul Bowling game jersey. Okay? I mean, they got that guy at Troy.
Yeah.
How do you get someone to leave Troy and then avoid Storrs, Connecticut, where it's 7 degrees right now to come? Hey, the guy-to-girl ratio, or perhaps girl-to-guy, is 5-1 in Tallahassee. How about come here and play?
You got Ashton Daniels, the quarterback.
Yeah.
Now you got a quarterback now, Ashton Daniels. Yeah. Who wouldn't want Ashton Daniels, Hayes, right?
We'll see what happens.
Tough times.
The Sear twins hurts, McCoy hurts, so I just don't know. But I'm fired up. The only thing I'm more fired up about than Paul Bowling is Jaguars football on Sunday. All right? That I'm a little bit more fired up about. We're going to break that again down tonight.
What do you think of the Bills? What do you think of the Bills?
They're sneaky because they really don't have a great wide receiver, but they have two really good tight ends.
Right.
They have arguably the best running back in the game, although I guess I'd rank him third behind Robinson and Jonathan
But
Taylor.
he did win the rushing title.
He certainly did. And what makes them so dynamic is what Josh Allen is able to do. I mean, the guy scored, 12 or 14 touchdowns with his legs this year, well over 500 yards. He knows how to find the marker and pick up a first down with his legs. So that's what petrifies you, even though he's never won a road playoff game before.
Right.
You know, so you have history going for you there. But Josh Allen is tournament tested. He's so good. That's what scares you.
All coming up tonight?
All coming up tonight, John Osher. Plus, we'll look at the game from a handicap perspective with our good buddy, the Philly Godfather.
Love it. Rick Beluga's into the night, and that comes up right now. That'll do it for our program tomorrow, 2 to 4. Our 2 to 4 show tomorrow will be on from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. A lot to talk about coming up on the program tomorrow. We're out of here. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't